What is up, guys? It's me, boy Kwis, and we are back again with another video. My first video back since coming from Ukraine. I know I took a bit of a break, but I needed some rest and relaxation before I got back to the grind. And with today's video, I'll just be talking basically. I'm not ready to return to online Tekken fully, so I'll just be talking about this one. And just talk about WePlay Ultimate Fighting League. It was a fantastic event, so I'll basically just be answering some of the questions I've been asked the most. And if the question you've had or a question you wasn't answered in this video, you can always stop by my stream. I'll be streaming tonight and most days at 8 p.m. GMT, except Monday and Friday. But if we hit sub goals and bit goals I normally have on my stream, I will stream the extra days Monday, Friday, and sometimes even Wednesdays as well. Before I start the questions, there's just a few things I have to get out of the way because there have been some stupid things I've been seeing while I was out there and since I've come back. I kind of need to clear up. First of all, there were some people who are like, oh my gosh, COVID is really bad. People are dying, and these guys are just having like an offline tournament. What scumbags? Like, there were great lengths that I went to make sure everything was COVID safe for this tournament. You needed a negative COVID test to fly out. Then when we got there to the hotel, we then had to get another COVID test. After we got our COVID test, we then had to go back to our rooms and quarantine. And until we got our results back, we couldn't go out and mingle with everyone and shit. I have had like 4 COVID tests over like the past week, right? Like, everything was done in such a way, like you couldn't even get into the building the venue was had without a negative COVID test. There was a time where there were some people who landed late. Tasty Steve, Super Kuma, and Book, they came at a later day. I think everyone landed on most people landed on like the Monday, and they landed on the Tuesday, and they hadn't been tested yet. Well, they hadn't got their results back yet, and we were up on the 18th floor in the practice room. And then the people looking after us came up and said, okay, so everyone needs to go back to your rooms because Super Kuma, Book, and Tasty Steve, they're coming up. They haven't got their results back yet, so obviously we're not mingling with them yet. We haven't been around them yet, so we went back to our rooms. Like, a lot was done to keep everything COVID safe. So if you thought that we were just doing whatever and just like, oh, we don't care about COVID, you're an idiot. I'd like to just put that out there. You're an idiot. And then another thing, there were obviously a lot of high profile names that were not at the event. For example, Knee, Low-High, Anakin. There were no American players actually. If you think that they weren't invited, if you think that an effort wasn't made to try and bring them to this event, you're an idiot. Like, if you really thought to yourself, when we were inviting players to this event, we're going to leave these guys off, you're not smart. And considering that, like we said, some people aren't comfortable traveling with COVID. Some people are coming from countries where it's a bit more harder to travel with COVID. So if you thought to yourself, wow, they actually just forgot to invite me, you're not smart. So yeah, I guess the first question most people have been asking me is why didn't I go as a player? And that is because I was asked to be a commentator. That's what I was invited as. It was an honor to be invited as. So it would have been nice to compete. I do love competing. I love going to events. It's one thing I really miss, just offline Tekken. But it did give me the chance to actually play against some of the best players in the world that were there without the threat of hiding something back for tournament, because that's not what I normally do. I could just play these guys as I normally do, going all out, you know, because I'm not going to have to play them in tournament a few days or the next day or the same day. So I was just like playing them and having fun, really. And speaking of which, I will have 2 sets that I'll be uploading over the next 2 days. A first to 7 against Bilal and a first to 7 against Always Honey. Those are the only 2 sets that I actually got recorded. That was actually on Spag stream. So all the other games I played against other people, unfortunately, are lost to the wind, and they only exist up here. Next question I've been asked is probably like my favorite moment. People have been kind of saying like, what did you really enjoy from WePlay? And I guess the number one thing for me, and something that was just an amazing moment for me and just an amazing time, was commentating with Tasty Steve. For the first time, his energy is absolutely amazing. And being able to commentate with him and laugh with him and joke with him was a complete different experience, you know. It was insane, you know. He's just like all over the place, like he is jumping, getting hype, and I think it's the only kind of experience that it can only really be like felt offline, in the offline space, because you're right together, you're next to each other, you're watching these amazing games, and the best players in the world are playing right in front of you. And it was absolutely electric doing it with him. and I hope to do it again in the future. Maybe it's season 2 of WePlay. Who knows if we both return back. But that was by far my favorite moment of WePlay, right? Like there were some great matches as well, but personally for me, that was insane. And now next up, I guess some people know like how I did in the sets against some of the people I did get to play. So Bilal and Awais, you actually get to see my matches with them over the next 2 days. Those are both first to 7 sets. I actually played Awais after the set, so I didn't get to play Bilal again. I played Awais after, and we had a longer set. He was switching through characters, and that actually went really well for me. You know, I was winning against the majority of his side characters, which was good. His Eliza, his Steve, and his Negan. He won the set, but I did really well against his Negan. But you don't get to see those games, just the one in the first 7 set. Actually, the only person I didn't get to play out of all the international players that weren't Europeans, because I didn't bother trying to get sets for the Europeans, just because like I can play these guys anytime. Just like, yo, Fergus can play some ranks or whatever, right? I can just do that. But the only one I didn't get to play was JDCR, unfortunately. I didn't get to play JDCR. I didn't get around to it. I was trying to get through everyone, and also just like being, you know, like I have to get ready, wardrobe, makeup, all this stuff done for commentary. I'm still working basically, so I did my best to play everyone, but I did not get the chance to play JDCR. I played Book. His Devil Jin slapped me up, but then I had good sets against his Geese. Only one game against his Jin, because then I had to go do my wardrobe and makeup. I played Saint. Saint was actually really fun to play. Me and Saint were having back and forth. We were streaking each other quite a bit. And he's just really funny. Saint is like really funny. Like he's a troll as well. Like sometimes he just like, he'd kill me with something stupid, then he'd just look at me and he'd just like do a face or some shit, and it's like, you're like such a troll, man. And yeah, obviously I got to play Arslan as well. The games against Arslan were really good. We played a Lydia mirror first and foremost. And like I think it was the 3rd day we played a longer set. He asked me to play, and it was a Lydia mirror. I actually came out on top on the Lydia mirror. I don't know the score, but I did win by a bit of a margin. So that was very. I was very happy about that. I'm now best Lydia in the world, confirmed, and no one can take that title away from me. And then we played Huang versus Eliza. He won that set. It was probably something like 7-4, 7-3, something like that. I wasn't keeping score of like all the games I played, because I played so many. If I did, and I kept those numbers in my head, I'd be impressed with myself. And then he picked his Nina as well, and I think Nina was a character he's played a lot in Tekken Tag 2, and it showed because I was getting really hurt in that set. I never got to play against his Zafina though, and I only got one game against his Julia before I had to go and do some. This is the thing. This is the recurring story. I had a lot of wardrobe to go and do makeup stuff, media stuff. Like I was very busy throughout the entire week, but I made sure to get some time into play against these players. Oh, and before I forget, Arslan said I'm good. Arslan said I'm good at Tekken. Arslan said if I had entered the tournament, I probably would have made top 8. He was like, why aren't you competing? You probably could have definitely made the top 8. So if you guys in the comment section think you can ever talk shit to me ever again, I don't care. Like at this point, there's nothing that any of you can say to me to hurt me, because Arslan said I'm good at Tekken. Deep it. Arslan Ash, the best player in the world, worst case scenario top 2, said I'm good at Tekken. If I entered, I would have made top 8. You guys can't say shit to me anymore. You can't affect me. You can't hurt me. I have received a blessing from the god. They have blessed me. There's literally nothing that any of you can say to me anymore to hurt me, right? If you guys, oh, okay, Wiz, you're just a spammer. Arslan said I'm good. What now? Oh, okay, Wiz, you just play Huang. You're carried by Huang. He's up here. Arslan said I would have made top 8. So there's, I can't be hurt anymore. I'm untouchable now. There's nothing anyone can do. There's nothing anyone can say. There's nothing that can possibly hurt me anymore in regards to Tekken. I'm sorry for you, for the people who watch my videos to hate on me and talk shit. Keep doing it. Like, what do I care now? You know, I don't give a fuck. You can say what the fuck you like. I know it's wrong. You know, I know it's wrong. And the people go, oh my gosh, K-Wish is ego, K-Wish is ego. I'm just confident, bitch. You ain't seen a confident guy before. This is just confidence, bitch. You want to see ego? I can show you ego now. I can show you that shit now. Because Arson said I'm good and I would have made top 8. Well, I'll return to that later on. Next question, while I just get, I don't know who that guy who's just talking was, but Jesus Christ, he was full of himself. Next up, meeting a lot of people for the first time was really cool. You know, meeting the American talent. It was the first time I'd ever met Rip, MYK, Mark, and Steve. I've commentated with Markman online before. Everyone else had like never met before. I spoke to MYK a bit before the event as well. He was also super cool. I mean, everyone was super cool. I don't have a bad story about anyone, to be honest. This is the thing. People kind of expect me to come back and say, who was a dickhead? And it's like, no one really. Everyone was fantastic. But yeah, it was super cool. Like, one thing that's insane is like Tasty Steve is like, he's like nicer than like you expect him to be in person, which is weird because you kind of expect him to be nice anyway, but he just goes that level beyond, which was super. And he's super cool. And commentating with him was super amazing, and I hope we get to do it again soon. Because that's one thing that was amazing. Like, so many people were like, yo, like the Tasty Steve K-Wish duo, the Tasty Steve K-Wish duo, blah blah blah. That was so good. But I was just happy to be in the moment. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was just really happy to be in the moment and just commentate with him. Yeah, that was cool. And without this video going on for too long, so I don't know how long it is right now, I guess the last question I have is, what does this mean for my future? Because some people are saying to me to just focus on commentary, blah blah blah. People like as a competitor, because you know the thing is, a lot of other players were saying as well, like the Pakistanis were like, why weren't you competing? You should have been competing. I have some decisions to make in the future. I suppose, you know, because being invited to an event like that for commentary is a huge honor, a privilege, and something I am very thankful for. You know, people like Banks, you know, believing in me and being like, this is the spot we want you to have. And Banks almost confirming I'll be back for season 2 as well, saying like, I definitely want you. I'll be having some conversations with a lot of people moving forward about my role in the Tekken community, because I'll still continue to make content regardless. Like, this never changes, but maybe I take a step back from competing a bit to focus more on commentary. Maybe I go into competing, because one thing that playing against these players, when I got the chance to, sort of showed to me is like, it's possible, you know, I can compete at the highest level against these players and, you know, make a name for myself and continue to do so. But I also can commentate at the highest. It's a really weird situation to be in. One without, I don't really think there's like a blueprint for me to follow. I can't look at like, well, this is what this player did in this situation, because I don't know, like, I can't think of anyone who's been in like a situation where like they're at their peak for both at the same time. Like, most people were like competitors first, one shit, did the best. I guess best example is Ryan Hart, you know, his competitor first, one shit, was the best Evo, did everything he needed to do, then returns to Tekken 7 as a commentator, still competes occasionally. Like, do I want to be a commentator that competes occasionally, or do I want to be a competitor that commentates occasionally? It's a hard place to be in, and I suppose if it wasn't for the world breaking down in 2020, I would have had my answer, because I would have actually been commentating Tekken World Tour events in 2020. So I would have been doing my best to do both there, see how that works, and then go from there. But I'm in a weird situation right now. I don't know what this means for me. I have people telling me one thing, people telling me another thing, lots of people in my ear, and I kind of just have to think about what I want to do more, I think, but also what is more sustainable as a career for the long term, right? Like, I feel like commentary will always be there, but compete, it's hard. That's all I can say. It's hard. I'll be keeping my cards close to my chest for a while now and talking about, you know, probably talking to my sponsor about what I want to do, where's my future lie. But that's a longer conversation for another day that you guys don't need to be a part of. Okay, at the end of the day, I'll still continue to do this as much as I can. But when it comes to like the actual competing commentary side, I'll have to make some phone calls, make some decisions, have some thoughts about some things, and reach a conclusion. But on that note, I hope this video didn't go on for too long, because that wasn't the plan. Regularly scheduled programming should begin tomorrow with my first 7 set. I'll probably do them in chronological order. So I think the set against Bilal will be tomorrow, then Waste the next day. Then I'll probably be playing some Tekken in the video on Friday, also keeping clips in the mix as well. But yeah, if you have any other questions about anything that happened in WePlay, make sure you stop by my Twitch. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. I'll be doing a few Q&A stuff on there, and obviously all that stuff will be on the screen as needed. So thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys for welcoming me back. Thank you guys for 19,000 subscribers. Don't think I forgot. We're on the road to 20k. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Extra life points can change the game. Look for the blue stuff.
3 seconds. 2. Spence the ball. Stay away.
Oh my god. What was that a pig up here? What the hell was that? That was K-Wiz. What the hell? The wing. I'm like Charlotte's Web.